Just do your thing. Thank you, Kurt, Renee, Julia, Joe. Yes. Yeah. Feeling better? Yeah. That's one thing we don't have to tell this group, isn't it? My 11-year-old granddaughter watches a Disney show called Girl Meets World. And I don't know if some of you may remember Boy Meets World back in the 90s. And this is the kids that were on there are now the parents on this show. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted here. But I like to watch what my grandchildren are watching, and I have something to talk to them about, and, we got something going there. Anyway, I watched this show, and I love it. Because what they do, it's about preteens, so of course my 11-year-old's going to love it. And what they do is they put such a message in the story plot each week. And as I watched it, it made me think about how Jesus used parables, or which are little stories, to teach his lessons. And that's exactly what they're doing. So the one show Denise was over the other night. I saw it a second time. She watched it with me. In fact, I saw it the first time. I'm really sidetracking today. But I saw it the first time, and I came in the next day, and Kim and Susie were in the office. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do a talk about this. So the school's debate team was working with another debate team from another school. And the subject they were given to debate was beauty is only skin deep. One of the teams got up there, and to make the point of the debate, they used the analogy of the Trojan horse. And here's what they said. One of the debaters said, "This is a world where pretty seems better somehow. If you get swept up by what you are on the outside, you can lose who you are on the inside. Even though it is easy to be fooled by the beauty of the Trojan horse, its real power comes from the army within." Isn't this an awesome message for kids? So today's talk, I know it blew off the sign, is our Trojan horse. So you're familiar with the story of the Greeks and the Trojan War that lasted 10 years. And then one morning the Trojans got up and they looked over the walls of Troy and the Greeks were gone. And there was a gift that they had left, this beautiful wooden horse. Now, what I didn't know was that the horse was the symbol for the Trojan goddess Athena. I didn't know that until I did this. So it wasn't just a horse. It was accepted as an offering to them. So the Trojans rejoiced. They went, wow, the Greeks have finally withdrawn. The war is over. They were fooled by the beauty of the horse. And they brought the horse inside the walls. And once inside, what happened? The Greek army emerged from within the horse and won the war. So metaphorically, a Trojan horse, we call it, is a trick that allows a foe into a secure, protected space. That's how we use it. And it's a computer program, right, Dan? Called the Trojan horse. And it tricks users into unsuspectingly running it. And it runs a virus and it causes us to lose our data. It harms our system. Our Trojan horse, the foe that we allow into our secure space, the virus we unsuspectedly run that causes harm to our system, is what? I talk about it all the time. What? Our ego. Yeah. So, in our struggle of survival, our ego can appear as helpful, friendly, harmless, just like that Trojan horse, right? But in truth, it robs and depletes us of the connection to our real strength, to our true strength. So the debater in the program continued. Even though beauty may be skin deep, beauty is nowhere near as important as the army inside. Intelligence, compassion, integrity, courage. That army is the real you, no matter what you look like. For us to develop a closer awareness of God, To experience real joy and peace, that's what we all want, I have to come less from ego, my Trojan horse, and more from my spiritual self. One of our teachings in Unity is the 12 powers. And the 12 powers are 12 spiritual gifts that were expressed by Jesus, 12 spiritual abilities that were expressed by Jesus. And they're present in each of us. These 12 powers are our inner army. And they are divine faith and strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, elimination, and life. In January, Dixie, our licensed teacher, is going to be teaching a class on these 12 powers, so watch for that. Each of these 12 powers represent an energy center in us that go along with the 7 chakras. And we had Dr. Paula here last Sunday, and that's what she worked with. And in the private sessions she did, she worked with opening up and clearing these spiritual centers. And those of us that went, she would take a picture before and a picture after, and you could see the difference. You could see how your energy wasn't moving. And then when she was through with the clearing, how the energy moved. So I've got 2 pictures I want to show you. The first one, Dan, of mine. Okay, so this is mine here. And you can see these are the centers. You can see the energy coming out of my body on these centers. Now I want to show you one that really is wonderful. Let's show, can I say who it is? It's Renee's. Can you see the colors? Now when you look at the 12 powers, you will see all these colors in there. Now her before picture, they were there, but they were closer to her body and they weren't as brilliant. So when we're walking around, even though maybe we feel centered, we got a lot of gunk hanging around us. And it's important to start to clear these centers out so that we can tap in to who we really are, so we can use the strength, the power that we really have. Okay, thank you, Dan. The co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, described these 12 powers as a divine birthright, the indwelling God in man. We come in with this. It's not something we have to get. Unity teaches that Jesus was both human and divine, and so are we. We have access. We have access to the same consciousness that Jesus lived from. It's not that far away. It's close to us. It's as close as what you just saw in these auras. Now, my daughter is a therapist, and I talk about her a lot, I know. But she shared something with me this week that I have to share with you. A client she's been working with for some time, progressing very slowly, a lot of things going on in her life. She heard or read somewhere that Jesus was not God. God was within Jesus. She'd never heard that before. And from that, she reached a conclusion. Imagine this aha moment for this person. If God was in Jesus, then God was within her. You hear that all the time, right? But imagine hearing it for the first time. There's no Unity churches in that area, by the way. As we learn to express less from our ego, less from our personal consciousness, and more from our Christ or spiritual consciousness, we are able to tap into and use the same spiritual powers or abilities that Jesus did. We are also able to experience healings and miracles. Can you own that? Can you just know that for yourself? Can you know you have that in you? Because that's all you have to do is be willing to know it a little bit. So how? So in Luke 5:4, the disciples had been out fishing all night long. And they caught nothing. They came back with empty nets. When they got in, they were tired. They left their boats, and they went to do what all fishermen do, wash the nets, mend them. And as they were doing that, Jesus stepped on one of the boats and started teaching the crowd. And just about when he'd finished teaching, the disciples returned to their boats. And Jesus looked at Peter and said to him, "Put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch." Like, can you imagine the disciples like, what's he talking about? You know, we were up all night. And it's common. It was common to fish at night, not during the day. It was common to fish in shallow waters, not in the deep waters. That's what you did. These guys were fishermen. The disciples were fishermen. Most of them were fishermen. They had it down to a science. They had done everything to catch fish. They didn't get any. And they were exhausted. They were up all night. They just finished cleaning and mending their nets. I'd be frustrated, wouldn't you? Yeah. Like, what's he talking about? Why would we go fish now when we couldn't catch anything all night? But Peter said, "Master, we have worked all night long, but have caught nothing. But if you say so, I will let down the nets." So, have you had those times when you have tried everything to make something happen out there, and it just didn't happen? And then maybe you talked to someone, or you did a prayer, or you meditated, and you got that, do it differently. Try a different way. Because we know what? Doing the same thing the same way gets the same results. Right. So they did as Jesus said. And they got so many fish, their nets were breaking and the boat listed. To develop and strengthen my connection to spirit, to my spiritual consciousness, I have to fish less from my ego consciousness. What does that mean? I have to fish less in the outer world. I have to stop looking into the outer world for what I want inside, because it has to come from inside. If you get swept by what you are on the outside, you can lose who you are on the inside. We have to go deeper. We have to awaken our inner army of spiritual powers. It's easier, it's safer to fish in shallow waters where I'm supposed to fish, where everyone else fishes. It's easier to keep doing things the way I've always done them, isn't it? The way everyone else does them. It's risky and scary to test new waters. What was the name of the song you sang? Just do your thing. Yeah. Think about the last difficult challenge you had. Grab onto one. How did you hang on through it? How did you keep going? How did you get through it? Because you're here today, you got through it, you're still alive. And I don't think there's anyone here that hasn't had a hard challenge in their life. There is a part of us that is always connected with the infinite. That is always connected to those powers that we have. And that's the part of us that is what we really are. Remember I talked about what we really are a few weeks ago? That's what's connected to the infinite. And it will always be there. And the only reason I don't know that is because I haven't turned within. It's because I'm fishing in the shallow waters. I haven't taken the time to go deeper. I haven't taken the time to go underneath all the input from the world. And that's what it takes. It's tempting to follow the path of someone else, especially if you love and respect them. So we know we have some of these challenges in our families. You were not created to be someone else. You were created to be you. You've heard it. Be yourself. What? Everyone else is taken. You like that one, Jeff. The degree to which we get in touch with our unique, my unique expression of God, my Christ self. The degree to which we experience authentic peace and joy comes from generally being our true self. Oh my gosh, all I have to do is be me. Oh my gosh, how easy is that? Don't be afraid to be authentic. Even if it means launching out into deeper waters where others do not fish. If you do, you will discover spiritual powers that allow you to overcome your challenges easier, to free yourself from suffering, and to really know, to really feel that true peace and that joy that we all really want. In the words of our debater, even though it is easy to be fooled by the beauty of the Trojan horse, its real power comes from the army within. So this week, I want you to think about this. Stop playing it safe. Watch when you feel that tug inside of you, because that's what it is. It's all of a sudden there's the you in there, and it goes to do something, and then it stops because, oh, that's not how everybody else does it. Watch when that happens, and when you feel it, don't play safe. Dare to cast your nets into deeper water. Be your own unique self. Awaken your inner army and emerge from your Trojan horse. God bless you.